And he was amazing in that movie. He was so good, and after that I was just like, God, that guy.
Buffalo 66, directed by Vincent Gallo, is still seen as one of the best Canadian-American romantic comedy dramas ever. To date, the movie is still loved and cherished by many. However, behind the scenes of this excellent movie lie many undisclosed secrets to the public. In this video, uncover 20 weird facts about the movie. Ensure you watch till the end. Number 20. Vincent Gallo used his actual birthplace on set. People often use different locations to film their movies. Surprisingly, Vincent Gallo used his birthplace to make Buffalo 66. No one expected this from him, but he clearly does not care about that. Let's hear from someone who knows about this. According to Acclaim, before the Marine Midland Arena was renamed the HSBC Arena and subsequently the First Niagara Center, and over a decade before I became a Buffalo resident, the Queen City's own enfant terrible, Vincent Gallo, shot his grimy black dramedy Buffalo 66 right here in his own hometown. A lot has changed, for better and for worse. To be frank, Gallo's portrait of the city is less than flattering at best, having been filmed in the snow-dusted gloom of 1997 at unloved locations that have hence changed hands, changed names, or wholly boarded up and closed down. Over the years, many critics have suggested that Vincent may have used his childhood home to bring back beautiful memories of the place. However, Vincent made sure to debunk these claims and shared nothing with the public. Number 19. The directorial debut. Do you know that Buffalo 66 was Vincent Gallo's directorial debut? Let's take a little drive down the history lane. Before Gallo started working on the movie, he had other things he was doing. He launched his career in the 1980s. However, things were not smooth and rosy for him. During that era, he worked as a musician and painter in New York City. During that period, he began to experiment with film. Later, he created the short movie If You Feel Froggy Jump, which helped in other movies. He was getting noticed gradually but had not achieved the needed fame. Later, he appeared in the 1981 film Downtown 81 with painter Jean-Michel Basquiat. In 1984, Gallo acted in the no-wave film The Way It Is, or Eurydice in the Avenues. Eric Mitchell released this movie in 1985, along with actors Steve Buscemi, Edwidge Belmore, Mark Boone Jr., and Rocket Redglare. After starring in the obscure 1989 film Doc's Kingdom, he began acting in small parts in well-known films like Goodfellas, The House of the Spirits, and The Perez Family. Later, French director Claire Denis hired Gallo to act in several movies like the short film Keep It For Yourself, the made-for-TV US Go Home, and its follow-up feature Nanette et Bonnie. This was released in 1996. Later, in 1996, Gallo finally released his directorial debut film, Buffalo 66. The film became a significant career breakthrough, and he was welcomed with many accolades and awards. During the Independent Spirit Awards, the film was nominated for Best First Feature. Also, the movie enriched Gallo. According to reports, he made a whopping sum of $1.5 million through the drama, while serving as the soundtrack's writer, director, lead actor, and composer. The release of Buffalo 66 gained him a solid fan base. Number 18. The movie was completed in 23 days. One of the interesting facts about the making of Buffalo 66 is that the movie was completed in just 23 days. It takes forever to make a movie. Producers often had issues with repeating some scenes. Surprisingly for this film, the reverse was the case. The movie was produced and released at a speed that surprised everyone. It was also filmed on reversal stock to give it a classic look similar to that of NFL Films reels from the 1960s, with high color saturation and contrast. This made the film turn out great and perfect. With the speed of production, were there lapses or errors made? According to reports, none was recorded. And this also increased Vincent Gallo's fame for being able to pull off a significant and perfect role within a short period. Another surprising thing Gallo did, he wrote the soundtrack. Let's explore that. Number 17. Vincent Gallo was in charge of the soundtrack. It was okay to see the writer of a movie being the director, but many didn't expect Vincent Gallo to be responsible for the soundtracks. According to reports, most of the film's score was composed and performed by Vincent Gallo himself. He spent lots of time working tirelessly behind the scenes to make the movie a success. The score features re-recordings of 4 tracks that first appeared on the soundtrack for The Way It Is, which was released in a limited vinyl-only edition in 1992. According to different movie analysts, Vincent did a good job with the soundtrack, which helped the movie turn out great and beautiful. That's not all. His soundtrack also uses several other songs, including Fools Rush In, Where Angels Fear to Tread, by Nelson Riddle in a cover version performed by Gallo's father, Vincent Gallo Sr., Moonchild by King Crimson, I Remember When by Stan Getz, and Heart of the Sunrise and Sweetness by Yes. According to a review, Vincent Gallo's soundtrack and music brought back beautiful memories when listening to the instrumentals. It made it easy to go back to memory lane and remember what the movie was all about. He was not just making the song for money's sake. He clearly chose the song carefully as he worked on the film. How commendable. Number 16, Vincent Gallo wrote the movie. Calling Vincent Gallo a gem is an understatement. Apart from directing the movie and being in charge of the soundtrack, do you know that Vincent Gallo was also the one who wrote the film? In 1989, Gallo wrote the script's first draft, initially involving a character trying to win a big part in a movie. Writing the script sure wasn't easy, but he continued. Among other motivations, such as his hometown Buffalo Bills losing the Super Bowl in 1991, Gallo rewrote the script. After he finished the script, the screenplay was credited to Vincent and Alison Bagnall, who he contended was really my typist for a couple of weeks, and I had to give her that credit because I didn't get her to sign anything first. The film was initially set to be directed by filmmaker Monty Hellman. However, disagreements between Gallo and the film's producers, who wanted to wait for snow to fall, led to Gallo deciding to direct the movie himself. After discovering that Vincent wrote the film himself, there were different comments and reviews about the movie. Let's check one of them out. The comment may surprise you. Sit to the end of Buffalo's 66 and you can read it, last and largest on the list of those to whom Vincent Gallo proffers his thanks. The beautiful city of Buffalo and the wonderful Buffalonians. The comment continued. It might sound sarcastic, especially taken out of context. God knows we're suspicious of compliments, particularly from expatriates who have gone on to success in the big city. But Gallo doesn't seem given to sarcasm other than that of the most obvious sort. This is not a man who will risk not having his meaning clearly understood. Overstatement and hyperbole are more to his taste, and a large part of what makes him so amusing to listen to. So when Vince Gallo claims that he genuinely loves the city he fled when he was 17, what can we say but gabba gabba hey? This was one of the comments from people from his hometown. At one point, many people believed that his work was an autobiography, but Gallo debunked these claims. Let's explore that next. Number 15, Buffalo 66 is not an autobiography. After the film's release, Vincent Gallo's most significant challenge was convincing people that the movie was not based on his life or personal struggles. He tried, but it was hard to dispel the rumors. Things got intense, and he had to clear his name over and over again. Later, Gallo shared that despite the popular misconceptions that he wrote the movie about himself, the film isn't autobiographical in any real way. The parents are based on my mother and father, but that's a conceptual gimmick. People often diminish the multitasking in that film by calling it autobiographical. The interesting thing about me is that I don't relate to Billy Brown in any way, because I don't take that abuse in any other form. He also expressed a big catharsis in writing the script, and an even bigger one making the movie. Number 14, Vincent Gallo had issues with Ricci.
And then I got the script and said that he wrote it. So
While many people saw an excellent performance from Christina Ricci on camera, behind the scenes, things were intense between her and Vincent Gallo, and it was not an easy one. Ricci had landed the role of Layla in the movie. She was to play a young girl kidnapped by Gallo's Billy after he exited prison. While there, he forced her to pretend to be his wife in front of his parents, but the two later developed an unusual connection despite Billy's lack of redeeming qualities. This was Ricci's role, and to the surprise of everyone, she played it well. While acting as Layla, she was vulnerable, emotionally charged, and sometimes playful. However, one thing was sure. Vincent Gallo and Ricci did not see eye to eye. His harsh demeanor towards Ricci nearly ruined her experience of shooting the film. There were claims that Vincent was not easygoing, and with his perfectionism and propensity for spitting harsh comments, he became one of cinema's most controversial figures. Things were tough for Ricci because she was just getting on the set of 66 after being set as a child actor for 8 years. In later years, she shared with HuffPost, "That was very confusing because it was my first movie away from home, or without my mother. Gallo didn't want my mom to come, he wanted me to be up there by myself. I was 17 and had never worked with anyone like this, and I had never worked on a movie that was that low budget before." She added, "I'd always worked on things where the more money, the more structure, the more protections in place, all this stuff, but I spent most of that movie trapped in a car with a raving lunatic." Now, that was a tough time for Ricci. Guess what? After the whole issue, Vincent was regarded as an unstable character. Let's delve into that. Number 13. Vincent Gallo, the unstable character. There were rumors about Vincent Gallo's character during the movie's making. Many people saw him as unstable and many people hated him. There were claims that his personality in real life was as unstable as it was in the movie. He was just like Billy, which made Ricci the recipient of his frustrations. Also, due to the pressure to do a good job at his directorial debut, Vincent lashed out and got angry at many people. There were claims that he said terrible things about Ricci and some others after the film's release, even though it had performed well with critics. While talking to Independent Film Quarterly about the potential of a sequel, Vincent shared disgustingly, "If I could get hold of some of the lipoed Christina Ricci fat, I could clone it and recreate that sweet chubby girl." Pick up at the bathtub scene where Christina begins by farting underwater, and my character Billy Brown has to hold his breath all the way back to the bowling alley. People often remarked that it was a great miracle for Ricci to leave the movie with positivity despite all she had been through. But one thing was sure, neither she nor the other victims of Gallo's hate would ever work with him. Number 12. Vincent Gallo had a crush on Ricci. Still on Vincent and Ricci's matter. Do you know that Vincent had a crush on Ricci? Shocked? Surprised? Oh yes, he did, and he admitted this. Let's find out. Before Ricci started working with Gallo on Buffalo's 66 set, Vincent told the reporters he wanted to cast her after seeing her in The Addams Family and Mermaids. Though he was 20 years older than her, he believed that he needed to have her play the lead in his directorial debut, and he did have her. Later, he opened up about having a crush on Ricci from that day. Surprisingly, Vincent was singing a different tune about Ricci. Instead of love, he hated her. Things got even worse when he made nasty accusations against her when he ran into a New York Post page 6 columnist at a popular Big Apple watering hole. When the writer mentioned Ricci to the director, he snapped, "It was okay when she wasn't drunk on the set. I think she has alcoholism. It was either that or she was on cough syrup the whole time." Gallo, who also snidely claimed that Ricci lost weight on the set because he limited her diet, seemed to spit fire. "I don't like her," he continued. "She's an ungrateful cant, but it was okay. She's basically a puppet. I told her what to do and she did it. If this were a crush, then it's a toxic one." Number 11. Angelica Houston had issues with Vincent Gallo.
My doll's house and put them in the trunks of trees for the fairies, and whenever I would...
Will it surprise you that Vincent Gallo also had issues with Angelica Houston? Let's explore the life of this iconic actress a bit before we get to that. Angelica Houston is a household name. She was one actress that everyone loved to have on their set. Why? She was a renowned American actress, director, and model. You can call her a perfect woman for some roles. Her fame increased further when she played Morticia Addams in The Addams Family and Addams Family Values. During that period, she also played many eccentric and distinctive characters. Angelica has won many awards, including an Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award, as well as nominations for 3 British Academy Film Awards and 6 Primetime Emmy Awards. She was awarded a Hollywood Walk of Fame star in 2010. For an actress like this, working with them was a rare privilege, but Vincent seemed to be unaware of this, as he also had issues with her. According to him, Angelica caused the film to be turned down by the Cannes Film Festival. No one knows if there is any truth in this, but one thing is sure: Vincent was a controversial figure. Number 10. Vincent Gallo fired Dick Pope. Apart from having issues with Angelica, Vincent also got into another trouble with Dick Pope. Vincent had the habit of taking credit for other people's works, and he did the same with Dick. Dick Pope was the original cinematographer for the movie, and he gave his best while working on the film. But his best was not enough for Vincent. After he was fired from the set, director Stéphane Sednaoui suggested Lance Acord for his position, and Vincent agrees. In the long run, Vincent still claimed credit for designing most of the film's cinematography. He shared that Acord was simply a button pusher who had never shot a feature film in his life. While working with him, Acord endured Vincent's condescending tone and attitude. The height of it all was when he publicly disparaged Acord, saying, "This guy had no ideas, no conceptual ideas, no aesthetic point of view." Kevin Corrigan chose to opt out of the credits because he did not want to be associated with the film then. Many shared that working with Vincent was very unbearable because he looked down on everyone and believed he was better than all. Number 9. Buffalo 66 was welcomed with lots of positive reviews. Despite all the drama and intensity that happened behind the scenes, everyone loved the movie, and there were positive reviews about it. On the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 77% based on 60 reviews. With this, the film had an average rating of 7.1 out of 10. The website's critics' consensus reads, "Self-indulgent yet intriguing, Buffalo 66 marks an auspicious feature debut for writer-director star Vincent Gallo, while showcasing a terrific performance from Christina Ricci." That's not all. Metacritic made sure to talk about the film as well. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned the film a score of 68 out of 100, based on 19 critics indicating generally favorable reviews. Many other people gave positive reviews about the movie and commended Vincent Gallo's work. In Time Out New York, film critic Andrew Johnston noted, "Ricci and Huston give poignant depth to characters that could have been cartoons. Gallo makes Billy both annoying and sympathetic with seeming effortlessness. But the film's most potent ingredient is its visual style. The film's washed-out colors and the flashbacks that explode from Billy's head like comic book thought balloons make Buffalo feel less like a movie than a dream given form." Film critic Roger Ebert also gave the film a positive review, awarding it 3 out of 4 stars. He wrote that it plays like a collision between a lot of half-baked visual ideas and a deep and urgent need that makes it interesting. At one point, film critic Elvis Mitchell could not hold back his comments anymore, and he praised the film during an interview with Vincent. There, he described the movie as touching. Number 8. Angelica Huston's performance was inspired by Billy's mother. Despite Vincent's constant denial, it was obvious to everyone that many parts of the movie were based on his life, especially his mother. In the film, Angelica Huston played Billy's mother. Later, there were rumors that her role as an unloving mother was similar to what Vincent experienced. For instance, he once shared painful memories that he faced when he was with his mother. There was a time when his mother knew he was allergic to chocolate donuts, but she fed him some regardless. This made his face swell up like the Pillsbury Doughboy. For Vincent, those memories were open wounds he had not yet healed. Many believed that the movie was his little revenge for all the pain and hurt he suffered in his mother's hands. Also, in the movie, some scenes revealed his nightmares in hilarious ways. One of them was the visit to Billy's parents. In that scene, the mom, an obsessive Buffalo Bills fan, sits twitching and clicking a television remote control while she feigns interest in her son. According to the scene, she was still mad at him for being born on a big game day. She had not forgiven him for that. That's scary, right? There is more. Jack Kemp and O.J. Simpson were well represented in the family photo gallery as Billy. Also, the dad turned out to be the guy from whom Billy later inherited his general misanthropy and excitable temper. He was the jovial one in the home. When they had a guest, he was welcoming. "Come here, honey," he keeps saying to Miss Ricci, who has stunningly reinvented herself as a baby blue sex pot for this role, and who plays Layla with tenderness and shrewd comic timing. "Let me hug my new little daughter." If Vincent wanted the world to know about his pain and suffering as a child, he was able to achieve that with the movie. Number 7. Ben Gazzara. After the filming of Buffalo 66, one of the actors passed away, which was a painful loss. Ben Gazzara, who played the role of Dad in the movie, was diagnosed with throat cancer in 1999. It was an easy one for him, and he had to fight that disease for a very long time with all his strength. Later, in 2005, he suffered a stroke, and on February 3, 2012, he died of pancreatic cancer at Bellevue Hospital Center in Manhattan. After his demise, he was cremated. Gazzara's demise caused great sadness, leading to lots of pain for his family and the movie industry. Before his demise, he had built an excellent reputation as an actor and director of film, stage, and television. For his outstanding performances and directing skills, he was able to win lots of awards and accolades. Some of his awards include a Primetime Emmy Award and a Drama Desk Award. He was also nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards and 3 Tony Awards. His impact and influence in the movie world made people miss him more. Number 6 is Buffalo 66, a political film. Behind the scenes, one of the controversies about the movie has been the theme and what it's all about. Surprisingly, the confusion started with Vincent Gallo. Everyone knew the film was based on romance, but Vincent refused this vehemently. He is a political conservative, and in an interview with filmmaker Kaveh Zahedi, he shared that it was a political film. Let's watch his comments. In Buffalo 66, the idea was of this extremely misguided victim who saw himself as a victim in the most unreasonable, unrealistic ways. That his life transforms the minute he takes responsibility for his own life is a direct political statement, a very uncomfortable one for many people because socialists feel quite opposed to that. Despite his claims and stands about the movie being about politics, many critics and movie analysts wrote against this. One of such people wrote, "After watching this movie, I went to Wikipedia to get some idea about its screenwriter, director, and lead. I was not really that surprised to learn that Vincent Gallo identifies as a radical Republican." Because of course he does. Because underneath all the bohemian trappings and the by-now tired conventions of indie cinema, Buffalo 66 is drenched in misogynistic romanticism. It creates precisely that mythical universe in which a woman's highest calling is to serve as an emotional punching bag to a man who feels he needs one. He added, Gallo caps off Buffalo 66 by adding insult to the injury. Billy Brown buying his new girlfriend a heart-shaped cookie. The payoff is small compared to what she has given up. It is built on the tired old notion that women's needs in love can be met perfectly well with tchotchkes. Habitually rude behavior, a dozen roses should be able to take care of that. Infidelity, a piece of jewelry will make it all better. A lifetime of bitterness and inconsideration? Just buy her a new washer and send her on a carnival cruise. I am not generally against gifts, but I have always been very suspicious of token presents being used to signal a new beginning or some form of making up for porcine behavior. The effect is to put the other person in the position of having to express gratitude by continuing in a terrible relationship. How can you slap a man in the face, metaphorically speaking, just as he is being thoughtful? So Billy Brown gets Layla a heart-shaped sugar cookie because that's what Gallo estimates to be the price of Layla's dignity and peace of mind. That's our happy ending. With a comment like this, it was obvious that no one would stand with Vincent to believe that the movie is a political film. Number 5. The movie made a reference to the Buffalo Bills. Everyone knew Vincent wrote the film referencing the Buffalo Bills from the title and storyline, and that's not all. He was clearly recalling their loss. When the film was released, the Buffalo Bills had not won a championship since the 1965 American Football League championship game. The plot also directly references the Bills' narrow loss to the New York Giants in the Super Bowl, which was decided by a missed field goal. After watching the movie, many people believe it was a petty thing of Vincent to bring back their loss to the screen for everyone to see. Also, some rumors referring to the loss made his mother hate him more. She felt he may have done that to spite her. Number 4. Rosanna Arquette. Do you know that the popular Rosanna Arquette was also one of the cast in the movie? It surprised many, but Arquette played her roles well and gave it her best. Her presence on the set was a surprise because she was known to be one of the best in the field. Born on August 10, 1959, Arquette has proved to the movie industry that she is one of the best American actresses ever. Her excellent acting skills have earned her lots of opportunities and fame. She was nominated for an Emmy Award for her performance in the television film The Executioner's Song, which was released in 1982. Also, she won the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role for the film Desperately Seeking Susan, which was released in 1985. Also, she had other notable film credits, including Baby It's You, which was released in 1983. 2 years later, she featured in After Hours. Her movie performance made producers want her, and she was featured in The Big Blue, released in 1988. Nowhere to Run became a career breakthrough for her in 1993. She also featured in movies like Pulp Fiction, Crash, and The Whole Nine Yards. Later, she directed the documentary Searching for Deborah Winger in 2002. Number 3. Christina Ricci talks about Buffalo 66 being marketed. Get ready for some interesting news. After the movie's release, Ricci expressed incredible frustration about the film being marketed and talked about her struggles as a young actor. Let's take a deep dive into that. Over the years, Ricci has tried her best to maintain a low profile. However, she has been vocal about all her struggles in the industry. According to her, after she entered Hollywood at a young age, she found herself battling with some serious mental health issues and anorexia, partly due to the pressures placed upon her by the industry giants. She shared, "When I was growing up, the second you looked like a teenager, you had to quit," Ricci once told Rolling Stone. She added that she had trouble processing my childhood and adjusting to adulthood. Also, she expressed her struggles and talked about how pressures were placed on young female actors to look a certain way. She experienced this while working with Vincent. She further expressed her pain while discussing the movie. She said, "The whole reason I made that movie was to say, oh yeah, that girl you called a slut probably went through this, so you might not want to use her and throw her away or judge her." But it seems all her efforts went to waste when she saw the poster made to advertise the movie. On the poster, an image of the actor in a relatively minuscule outfit, sitting in a somewhat suggestive position and holding onto chains that belonged to Jackson's character, was plastered over the poster. The tagline reads, "Everything is hotter down south." Ricci shared that after seeing all these, she was not impressed anymore. According to her, one of the most disappointing and upsetting things that ever happened to her was when she saw that the movie was being marketed. She shared, "I have no interest in exploiting women any further than they've already been exploited. All these marketing executives cared about was college-age boys gonna see it." Number 2, a low film. One of the stigmas Vincent faced after the production of his movie was that many people believed the film was made on a low budget. He was often seen as poor and broke, and Vincent hated this. Because of the low budget, he had to use budget-friendly equipment to get things done. Because of the low budget, the film's locations were also chosen in places that cost little. It was filmed in and around Gallo's hometown of Buffalo, New York. For the same reason, he used English progressive rock bands such as King Crimson and Yes on its soundtrack. Despite all these, the movie was well received by many because of Ricci's performance. In later years, Empire listed it as the 36th most excellent independent film ever. The movie, which was produced with a $1.5 million budget, later grossed $2.4 million. Also, because of the budget, it was filmed on reversal stock to give it a classic look similar to that of NFL films, reels from the 1960s with high color saturation and contrast. Number 1, Michael Rourke. Another controversial actor connected to the film world is Mickey Rourke. His presence in movies often surprised people because before returning to acting, he was widely recognized as a professional boxer. This career shift made his casting choices even more unexpected. Despite the doubts surrounding him, Rourke consistently managed to bring a raw intensity to his roles that made him stand out. Born Philip Andre Mickey Rourke Jr., he built his reputation in the 1980s as a leading man in dramas, action, and thrillers, quickly becoming known for his unconventional charisma and ability to portray deeply flawed, complex characters. Over more than 4 decades, he has amassed an impressive list of accolades, including a Golden Globe Award and a BAFTA, along with nominations for the Academy Awards and Screen Actors Guild Awards. Collectively, the films he has appeared in have grossed over $1.9 billion worldwide, proving his staying power in Hollywood despite his ups and downs. One notable talking point in his career was his performance in Buffalo 66. At the time, many were skeptical of whether he could fully embrace the role and deliver in a film that demanded such vulnerability. Yet, as with much of his career, he defied expectations and sparked conversations about his adaptability as an actor. His journey, marked by triumphs, setbacks, and reinventions, has made Mickey Rourke not just a controversial figure, but also one of the most unpredictable and fascinating talents of his generation. What do you think about Vincent Gallo? Which of the facts do you find the most interesting? Do you think Vincent was too harsh in his words about Ricci? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Before you go, watch the other videos displayed on your screen.